Hey, sociology, welcome back. So this week we are going right into Module 5, and Module 5 is actually something that I really love discussing. So at the end of this, we are going to be able to talk about the different kinds of research that sociologists do. So the first one is called surveys, and that is just handing out packets, or actually most of them are done online now using programs such as Google Forms or also there's a program called Qualtrics or E that calculates it for you. So, surveys is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like chocolate ice cream? So people would either put a 1 to 10 on a sliding Likert scale, or they might, ask a question, do you think President Trump is fulfilling his campaign promises, et cetera, et cetera. So this gives you a good snapshot of a general population and what they think, okay? And there are certain things that we use, like a sample size, that lets us know exactly how big it gets and how small it gets and when we should be able to do that. But the larger the sample size, the more it's going to equal the general population of the United States or wherever it is. All right. Field research is actually going out and watching people. All right. It was something called ethnographic research, is where you actually go and you become part of a community. All right. And so this is what they did early on when they were studying tribes in the Amazon, or they were studying the Maasai or the Sankung in Africa. So they would actually go and they would live amongst them. All right. Experiments are when you actually try something and you give one group a treatment and you don't give the other group a treatment. So if I wanted to know if I was teaching in prison or I was working in prison and I wanted to know if a certain on-the-job training helps reduce recidivism or people recommitting felonies, what I could do is I could give half of the prison population this treatment where they would take this on-the-job training and they would get out of prison with degrees, and then I would leave the other half uneducated, and then I would see whether or not more people that came back were from a different group, all right? And the second one is a secondary data analysis, which is looking at what someone else has already done and what they've already gathered and making sense of that, all right? So we all have different reasons why we do it, and everything that you're going to look at will be a little bit different. Now, I want you to look at some of the possibilities of sociological research. How important farmer markets are to the culture of an urban area as opposed to a rural area. How might a survey provide good information on this topic, right? What experiments can you think of that you could conduct to help you gather information? Or would a survey be likely to give you the most useful information? So again, this is just something that you need to look at, all right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to get right in there. And again, any time that we are doing a sociology project or we're doing a study, the first thing you do, and this is the scientific method, is you ask a question, come up with a hypothesis. Then you research existing sources, what's out there, what's already been written. You formulate a hypothesis, then you design and conduct a study, you draw conclusions, and then you report your results. And I want you to watch that video, okay? Now, once you're done with that, you are going to go on to the discussion board. And the discussion board has you, imagine you're about to do field research on a specific place for a set time. You can consider a suggested scenario of determining the importance of farmers markets to urban residents and or rural residents. All right, so we all live in a small community. Are farmers markets important to us? Are they more important in a big city? So instead of thinking about the topic of study itself, consider how you as a researcher would have to prepare. What personal, social, and physical sacrifices would you have to make? So what I want you to do is I want you to just kind of think about that and post it. Now, I noticed last week that only 2 of you did this. All right, that means only 2 out of all the students in here are getting credit for this. All right, so make sure that you get in and you do this every single week. Again, I am closing these every single Sunday at midnight, so make sure that you get in and do it. All right. Now, for the next one, what you're going to do is you're going to create a research design about a topic that you are passionately interested. Okay. Now, this could be anything that you care about. It could be about video gaming. It could be about face-to-face dating versus online dating. It could be about teenage drug use. It could be about smoking. It could be about pregnancy. It could be about any kind of thing that you are passionate about. All right. Now, again, it needs to be sociological, so it wouldn't necessarily be research on a certain microorganism, but it would be about how it's important. And then you're going to pretend to write a letter to me, and I'm either going to accept it or I'm going to reject it. All right, based on what you've written. Then what I want you to do, excuse me, is take the quiz. All right, and again, there's a lot of vocabulary in this quiz. It's important that you know all of those things. Then what you're going to do is you're going to get into a participant observation, and you're going to read about those. So again, a participant observation is actually going and living with the people. So who would you choose to study? If you could study any one group in the world, so that could be anything within the United States. So if you could be a fly on the wall in the Kardashian house, that's fine. You could study how they go about preparing and setting up their every day. Why would you choose that research question? Okay? And then once you do that, you're done with this unit. And again, everything is due throughout the week. Now, you are almost done with this seminar. So once you finish that, you are going to take the final test. Now, you should not come up with you should not come up with Seminar 6. I did skip that. All right, so this should take you right to, after you finish it, it should take you right to the final test. All right, this test is worth 70% of your grade, or not 70%. It's worth I think 78 points, which would be almost 10% of your grade. So make sure that you take that. All right, as you're doing this, if you have any questions, reach out to me. If you did watch this video, just send me a reply about what you think you might want to study as part of a participant observation, and you can change it, but I just want to know that you watched this video, and if you did, I will automatically give you 10 bonus points. So, all right, thanks a lot.